7. They could eliminate Houston with a win. It's hard to tell if Durant's absence will be an advantage for the Lakers. The Rockets won Game 4 Sunday without Durant, but that was in Houston. The Lakers are 4.5-point favorites. The NCAA is giving serious consideration to expanding the men's and women's basketball tournaments to 76 teams. A formal announcement could come next week after a vote on the expansion proposal. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, host of The Voice of Reason, weeknights at 7 p.m. here on KBLA Talk 1580, with a personal invitation for you to join me and Insight.me as we present The Healing Box, live at Inglewood's world-famous Miracle Theater, Saturday evening, May 23rd at 7 p.m. Look, I understand your attachment style has been running your life like a rogue algorithm, and nobody has had the courage to press pause. Until now, Dr. Pacoya McCall and yours truly are curating a night where clinicians, spiritualists, and an all-star panel of Black woman healers like Dr. Shalonda Sunshine Crawford, Dr. Jashana Johnson, and spiritualist Precious McGill will join some amazing spoken word artists and the legendary comedian Louis Dix to diagnose, disrupt, and heal your relational wreckage in real time. Listen, bring your trauma. As a matter of fact, bring your baby mama. No, bring your testimony. And if you're still texting your ex at 2 a.m., baby, you're not just invited, you're the target demo. Tickets are moving fast, so grab yours at themiracleinglewood.com before your dating history gets flagged as a pre-existing condition. That's themiracleinglewood.com. We'll see you there Saturday, May 23rd at 7 p.m.
Have a dollar. In fact, no, brother, man. Here, have $2. $2 means a snack for me, but it means a big deal to you. Be strong, serve God only. Know that if you do, beautiful heaven awaits. That's the poem I wrote for the first time. I saw a man with no clothes, no money, no plate, Mr. Winter. That's his name. No one ever knew his name, cause he's a no one. Never thought twice about spending on an old bum until I had the chance to really get to know one. Now that I know him, to give him money isn't charity. He gives me some knowledge, I buy him some shoes. And to think blacks spend all their money on big colleges, still most of y'all come out confused. Go ahead, Mr. Winter.
KBLA Talk 1580, you're listening to First Things First. I'm James Farr. I'm sitting in for Dominique DePrima all week, and we have the most comprehensive election coverage as we are meeting the candidates all week long and beyond as we right here in Los Angeles, in California, right in LA County. We're preparing for the June 2nd primary elections. And it's a very crowded field in many races across the city of Los Angeles, at the assembly levels, at the county levels. But what we're doing here is the races that Dominique KBLA has chosen to focus on. We invite candidates in for conversation, get to know them, and as I said earlier this morning, that we're required to provide each candidate with equal time. And so in some races, or if you're listening to the program here, you may hear some candidates have less time than others. That's all because we have to be fair. We have to give everyone equal time. I am joined in studio this morning with Andrew Kim, who was born in South Korea. And at the young age of 14, Andrew came to the United States with his parents under a special category which allowed immigrant visa for working American troops overseas for over 15 years. After he arrived in 1974, he enrolled in Southgate High School and went on to graduate with a bachelor's degree in political science from Claremont McKenna College. as well, and that's in the city of Claremont. And prior to pursuing his law degree, he enrolled in Pepperdine Law School and obtained his Juris Doctorate in 1986. And right now, Mr. Kim is running to be the next mayor of the city of Los Angeles. Welcome. Good morning, Mr. Kim. How are you?
Good. Thank you and for inviting me. And it's really nice to be here to be interviewed by such a great radio station that we have here, KBLA.
Thank you. I want to. We're going to get into your background and your why and your legal career and what your vision is. Should you successfully move past or perhaps outright win it on June 2nd, right? Get that 51%. But I'm wondering how your as being an immigrant here in California in the United States, how has that shaped the Andrew Kim that's sitting right here today?
Thank you for asking me that. May I call you James?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because my background is Korean American. I came to the United States as a 14-year-old kid, as you mentioned. But my relationship with America has been shaped by, long before that, by what you call the Korean War that happened in 1950 and 1953. For 3 years, there was a war in Korea where no one knew where Korea was, but Americans, young kids, 18, 19, 20, they came to Korea.
Mm-hmm.
And defended the democracy in Korea over the aggression by the communism,
Mm-hmm.
backed by Soviet Union back then by Stalin. So that was an incident that really shaped my perception of the what's good about, what's right about the system that we have, free market, the democracy system that was being attacked by North, sort of like totalitarian socialist communist regime from North. So that is the what shaped my understanding and my relationship of American political system. And so when I came to the United States, my father, as you mentioned, was a beneficiary of a special immigrant, which allows a person who's worked for American troops for over 15 years to be able to have a visa to come to the United States.
Mm-hmm.
It's called a special category.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how I was able to come to the United States. I was not someone who was very wealthy from the background of a very wealthy family, but that allowed me to come to the United States, be educated, and then becoming practicing law and all that. But right now, so I always had the perception that America is a land of opportunity, as they say. So America has been a nation in 1970s, 80s, 90s. And 2000 onward, it was a nation that really couldn't do anything wrong. It had answers for all the problems, technology-wise.
Now
everything.
that's your perspective.
That was my perspective.
Okay, I just want to be clear because I'm like,
as I was coming from South Korea as a 14-year-old kid, we have to admit that America has a really a great sort of like advertising of the image, burnishing of its image abroad. It has that perception, and at that time with the Mr. Nixon in place, Mr. Ford and Mr. Carter, and all those presidency, America really conveyed the perception that America. I mean, that's when all the McDonald's was being built all over, and then there was a malls being built. And Disney World, Disneyland, all that. It's sort of like a new things that everywhere. It's sort of like it's a
baseball, hot dogs, apple
right,
pie, and
that's
Chevrolet. Right? Did
Yeah.
red, white, and blue.
Although-
So at 14, because I'm going to move us forward, and we were getting to some of this policy stuff, and I think it was important because LA is such a melting pot. So, it has. I mean, your neighbors can be anyone here, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at 14, you were old enough to have some idea, and you kind of got the advertisement, right? The bill, right? Did America live up to its reputation or perception? Did you find it to be true when you got here, or has it taken some time to kind of figure some things out?
Yeah, I immediately saw a sort of the difference between some neighborhoods and some neighborhoods. What I'm talking about is that that was right after the LA riot, and as I was driving, I was being driven by the
in
family.
community, we prefer to call it a civil unrest.
Civil unrest.
Yes,
Okay.
That's Andrew Kim. He's running for the mayor of the city of Los Angeles. He's in studio with me. We're understanding his campaign, his priorities, why he believes that he will unseat, or certainly at least gain enough votes to move forward to the general election in November. All the election coverage, updates, advisements, information. We got it right here. KBLA Talk 1580. We got your black.
Where the overlooked become unmissable. This is KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, host of The Voice of Reason, weeknights at 7 p.m. here on KBLA Talk 1580, with a personal invitation for you to join me and Insight.me as we present The Healing Box, live at Inglewood's world-famous Miracle Theater, Saturday evening, May 23rd at 7 p.m. Look, I understand your attachment style has been running your life like a rogue algorithm, and nobody has had the courage to press pause. Until now, Dr. Bakoya McCall and yours truly are curating a night where clinicians, spiritualists, and an all-star panel of black woman healers like Dr. Shalonda Sunshine Crawford, Dr. Jashana Johnson, and spiritualist Precious McGill will join some amazing spoken word artists and the legendary comedian Louis Dix to diagnose, disrupt, and heal your relational wreckage in real time. Listen, bring your trauma. As a matter of fact, bring your baby mama. No, bring your testimony. And if you're still texting your ex at 2 a.m., baby, you're not just invited, you're the target demo. Tickets are moving fast, so grab yours at themiracleinglewood.com before your dating history gets flagged as a pre-existing condition. That's themiracleinglewood.com. We'll see you there Saturday, May 23rd at 7 p.m.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-515-4493, 800-515-4493, 800-515-4493.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DePrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
That's right. Well, you're not waking up with Dominique DePrima. You're waking up with James Farr. I am sitting in for the Queen, Dominique DePrima, all week. Election coverage. We're bringing candidates to you every day. Ballots go out in the mail on Monday, May 4th. The election is coming up much faster than you'll realize. And, Dominique kind of flirted with it weeks and months ago that, well, first of all, we're in a constant election cycle, right? Candidates are constantly campaigning. You're being asked to donate money. You get these text messages, all these things. It's happening right now, but you can count on KBLA Talk 1580 to make sure that the delegation is advised, informed. I'm not going to instruct you. I'll let Dominique do that, but we want to make sure that you know who are your candidates. And I'm in studio this morning with Andrew Kim, who is a candidate for the mayor of the city of Los Angeles, and Mr. Kim is an immigrant from from South Korea, and a practicing attorney. Spent some time on the bench as well, and has a plan and a vision for the city of Los Angeles. But Mr. Kim, my question is, why are you running, and what's the problems with the city? Some say it's functioning well.
Well, Ms. Bass, the current mayor, would like to paint a bright picture of what's going on, perhaps improving picture of all the problems that we have in the city. However, the problem is that we have the problem of homelessness. That is something that is a very specific, and it is something that we should be able to do something about.
Well, what should we do?
Yes.
Everyone's, we see the problem, right? Well, it's perceived as some as a problem, and others an inconvenience. But I don't want to editorialize. Mm-hmm. What should we do? I mean, throwing the dart at the wall of homeless and saying it's a problem. Got it. What should be done?
Yes, and that is the question that I think that we all need to ask, but the answer seems to be there. It is right now the reason why we have this problem continuously being unresolved is that I think that Ms. Bass has the idea that somehow by bringing these homeless people to a housing directly, and that will solve the problem that they have in terms of what made them homeless to begin with.
Okay.
I know there's economic issues, and then there's a other issue of, they say about 75% of these homeless individuals has a drug problem and the related mental health and such issue and such. So I think that what we need to focus is a recovery of these individuals, and not start with the housing first. Ms. Bass believes that Safe at Home program, which allows these individuals to just stay at with the ready-made turnkey house, should be the beginning point. And unfortunately, we have a situation where we have about $500,000 or $750,000 is necessary to have one condo or one housing for a person, and that is a extremely high level of expense, and that cannot be sustained, that level of spending to accommodate homeless individuals. And without the recovery, what end up happening is that these people are continuously going in and out of the system, and then they become lifetime recipient of government grants, and
the unhoused community members.
Yes.
become I'm not aware of any grant that any unhoused person receives, or any government agency, or what grants are you referring to that unhoused community members are receiving, that I'm sure if they were receiving and it existed, they'd probably use it to get housed if that's their choice. But what? Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I'm not aware of any grant.
Yeah, well, maybe grant is not exact word, but it is a expense and a cost, because these individuals get in and out of the emergency hospitals, and then they get into trouble in terms of the criminal law, and then so all these are expenses that are incurring by these individuals. Hey, they do have these EBT programs, and then
But those are benefits that are available for people who are housed. I'm confused. So you said earlier, let me, because I want to try to make sure I hear you correctly, and
Sure.
and put the railing on the conversation for our listeners. You said earlier that safer at home or housing people first shouldn't be the priority. You're suggesting that the priority should be focusing on recovery.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's
what does that model look like under your mayoralship?
Okay. So the first you start with the anti-lawyering law, which prevents an individual to. There's a law right now that if you are lawyering at a particular street or area without with the purpose of committing crime, let's say, or for illegal purposes, then you are subject to arrest and then be taken to a jail. However, right now, we don't want to just take them to the jail right away. It's just that we need to give them opportunity to have a choice of are they going to go to jail or are they going to be helped and then go to the perhaps available shelter and then be enrolled in a recovery program, such as the ones that are offered by such an organization as a Salvation Army, let's say, and then they will go through such as a 12-step program, like alcohol anonymous program and such, and then gradually become independent and be able to hold a job upon exiting the system. So that's a process. It will take about a year or two eventually, but it has shown to be effective in such places as San Francisco already. So that would be the ideal outcome, and the recidivism of these individuals are very low, and so we could use that kind of recovery first system to really help these individuals. These are what you call hand up policy and program, not handouts. And so we want to implement these programs as much as we can. And of course, in these programs, we need the particular individual wanting to help, wanting to be better themselves. And it's a self-motivation that propels the recovery. So I think that that's a model that we should follow, and it has already shown to be very effective.
Los Angeles Police Department receives close to 47% of the annual budget. Is that enough, or would you be supportive of reducing that budget and perhaps allocating those resources in perhaps maybe to the other areas that you're speaking of?
Yes, right now we have I guess around 8,000 or so police personnels, and Mayor Bass, to her credit, proposed increasing the number to 8,500 or so 500 more officers. She also believes that ideally there are maybe 1,000 more, maybe ideal, like a 9,500 or so. So I'm in agreement with that. I think that police has an important task to maintain law and order, and so we need to increase the number of police officers, at least 1,000. Ideally, it will be more than that. It should be more than that, but it is something that will improve overall, the law and order status in our city. So that's where I am, and if there's any money that we can somehow save from the LAPD budget, then that definitely should go to the to address the homelessness issue, I think.
Well, I'm not sure how we'd save any money in the budget if we were increasing the workforce by 1,000. To me, that sounds like an increase in policing budget. So is it your belief, I've heard law enforcement come up many a times as a solution, is it your belief that we can arrest our way out of the problems? I mean, you've suggested perhaps we offer our unhoused community members who purportedly, according to you, 75% have some sort of substance or mental health issue, and I don't know if anyone is tracking that number for everyone who is housed, right? But according to you, the option would be rehab or jail, more policing, an increase in budget. So do you think we can arrest our way out of this problem? Kind of sweep it away?
Well, there should be a perception where the law is there to be enforced, and if you do anything that is contrary to the law, such as run afoul of a criminal law, you should get the consequence of the legal consequence of being penalized.
Do you think all the laws are written fairly, though? I mean, if Miles and Akili and I go stand outside, would we be subjected to the interpretation? Because there's the spirit of the law, right? The officers have some discretion. This is a misdemeanor. It wouldn't be a violent crime, etc. Would us three brothers just standing there with our, all chill ice cream from across the street, would we be subjected to? Is there any thought of how that would impact everybody?
Yeah, I mean, that is, standing on the sidewalk eating, ice cream or something like that is not a crime. It's only when there's a intent to commit or violate the law by congregating on the streets. Mm-hmm. That's when the criminal law comes in, and so as you mentioned, there is a spirit of the law, and then there is a how the law is enforced, and I understand why. It seems like more of a minority community has a blunt of the negative consequences of these laws, and it seems as if the laws are written and it is not fair to the minority community. But I think that as I said, the law is there to be abided by. And if there's any the act of violation, and I think there should be consequences. And so I mean, the unfairness of the law itself need to be addressed. That's a whole another level, but it is that's why we are electing the legislature members to
they write the laws. I understand. Right. The mayor of Los Angeles does not write the state laws, which they mm-hmm. can help with ordinance. Guest in studio is Attorney Andrew Kim. He is running for Los Angeles mayor. News, sports up next. James Farr in for Dominique DePrima. Stay with us only on KBLA Talk 1580. We got your black.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Los Angeles police are stepping up patrols and adding mobile surveillance in Studio City after a spike in home invasions. Aaron Sias with ACS Security.
We have provided information, footage, license plates to LAPD that have actively assisted in their investigations.
A new AI-powered camera unit is now operating near Ventura Boulevard as the city boosts security. An audit at HBCU North Carolina A&T found $5 million in financial aid was wrongly awarded to ineligible recipients with ties to former officials. Several leaders have left the university, restitution is being sought, and criminal referrals have been made. And Nedra Talley Ross, the last surviving member of the Ronettes, has died at the age of 80. The group helped define the 1960s girl group sound with hits like Be My Baby. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Fiji Airways on sale. Turn your next trip into something unforgettable with Fiji Airways. Fly nonstop from LAX to Fiji starting from just $349 one way. Your island time is waiting. Book now at FijiAirways.com. That's FijiAirways.com. Conditions apply.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
For the fourth time in this first round playoff series, the Lakers will not have to worry about a game plan for Kevin Durant. The Houston Rockets confirmed that Durant will not play tonight in Game 5 at Crypto.com. The 37-year-old Durant is still struggling with a sprained left ankle. Durant, number 5 on the NBA all-time scoring list, has played in only one of the 5 playoff games against the Lakers. The Lakers have a 3-win lead in the best of 7. They could eliminate Houston with a win. It's hard to tell if Durant's absence will be an advantage for the Lakers. The Rockets won Game 4 Sunday without Durant, but that was in Houston. The Lakers are 4.5-point favorites. The NCAA is giving serious consideration to expanding the men's and women's basketball tournaments to 76 teams. A formal announcement could come next week after a vote on the expansion proposal. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
I need a little range, step to the range. There's a new flavor in town, the Jalapeno Ranch Club at Chick-fil-A. With that juicy Chick-fil-A original spicy or grilled chicken, a buttermilk ranch bun, candied bacon, pepper jack cheese, and jalapeno ranch sauce. It's got big ranch vibes with a little heat. Chick-fil-A's new Jalapeno Ranch Club, available for a limited time only. Order ahead on the Chick-fil-A app.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh no.
That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that could make all the difference. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
There's a lot of uncertainty in the world right now. Things are changing fast and no one knows what comes next. Times like these make you realize just how important it is to be prepared. That's where My Patriot Supply comes in. They're America's #1 most trusted resource for survival food, solar power, water filtration systems, and more. Go to preparewithamerica.com to unlock a special offer that'll help you get ready for whatever comes our way. Go to preparewithamerica.com to see the special offer right now. That's preparewithamerica.com.
The joint will be jumping. Ebony Repertory Theater, in association with Fig Street Films, brings you one of the most beloved musicals of all time. Tony Award winner, Ain't Misbehavin'. The soulful, swinging celebration of the music of Fats Waller. From the rollicking to the romantic, this show is pure magic, full of the songs that defined an era and the voices that'll make you forget everything else for a night. Foot stomping, heart stirring, unforgettable. Don't miss Ain't Misbehavin' at the Nate Holden Performing Arts Center, starring Lettucey, directed by Ren T. Brown. This is the night out you've been waiting for. Tickets are going fast, so don't wait. Grab yours now at ebonyrep.org or call the box office today at 323-964-9766. Ebony Repertory Theater, bringing the culture, keeping the legacy alive.
Ain't Misbehavin' runs May 21st through June 8th at the Nate Holden Performing Arts Center. Get your tickets now.
Hi, I'm Fred Martin, founder of Compton Kids Club. I just want to talk about the authenticity and tell y'all about my homeboy, Tom Steyer. Tom is a rock star. When I met him, Tom gave a grant to schools in San Francisco. All the kids were on probation. We were flying instructors for 2 years to come and help those kids doing performing arts and turning their life around. Some of the kids that he supported, they've graduated from UCLA. Let's fast forward. Tom is in schools in Compton, hanging out with the kids in the piano classes. Brother Tom Steyer hangs out in the studio with us. These are the seeds that he's planted. This has nothing to do with elections. What's coming out of his mouth is not a campaign speech. It's authentic, and when he say he walks away from a business because he want to do his values, he ain't making that up because he's running for governor. This man is real.
Ad paid for by Steyer for Governor 2026.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where everybody is somebody and nobody is a stranger. You belong here.
That's right. You absolutely belong here, and I guess what? I do too. I'm James Farr. I'm sitting in for Dominique DePrima right here on First Things First, KBLA Talk 1580, and we're right in the midst of this current election cycle. It's election season. Ballots come out. They should be hitting your mailbox next Monday on the 4th, and certainly sample ballots, and it's time to lock in, get engaged. We're bringing candidates to you every day this week and beyond when Dominique returns, so that y'all are informed, you're advised, and you can make the best decision that represents your interests and your community. I am in studio right now with Andrew Kim, who is running to be the next mayor of the city of Los Angeles, and he's an attorney. He's an immigrant from South Korea, has been in this country since the early 1970s, so he's had a little bit of time in his native country, his home country of Korea, but formative years were here in Los Angeles. Mr. Kim, I'm curious. I know we spent some time a little bit earlier on some of the challenges of housing, right, and folks that are unhoused, but there's clearly a housing shortage, not only in the city of Los Angeles, in the region, and many other places throughout the state, and certainly within the county. What's your solution to increase the housing inventory? That's part one of that. And then should the Casa Hawkins be repealed so that more housing units could be kind of baked into an affordable housing scenario, or rent controlled or rent stabilized scenario? What say you?
Well, right now that brings in the question of affordability within the city of Los Angeles, and it is a very high the price to have a home within the city of Los Angeles, and so that is a issue, a separate issue. As far as homelessness goes, I think that there are a lot of good ideas coming from different concerned groups, such as the Coalition to End Homelessness in Los Angeles. This is a Christian coalition, and it's a multinational organization, and it proposes to build a sort of the multi-level housing on a, let's say, a plot of land that has one residential housing. Will be able to build 5-story high, let's say, and each level be able to house about maybe 10 to 20 the individuals, like a college dorm, let's say, and then it will house about up to 100, let's say, individuals on that particular 5-story building that can be built on the one plot of a single residential housing that right now. So that brings in the question as to how long does it take to build a house here. Unfortunately, right now it takes up to 5 years to be able to house, and so with this kind of the sort of ready-made 5-story building concept, I think that it can be the time it takes to get a permit and to be able to start building the housing can be shortened to about 6 months. So that's a drastic reduction.
6 months?
Or so, yeah, because it already has approved design and all that. It's a sort of like, it's a multiplication of what's already approved. So it is a path that could be taken by the city government to be able to quickly redress the housing shortages among the homeless people. So,
I wasn't speaking specifically about home. I mean, there's a housing inventory shortage
right
across the region, across the city, right? I mean, and then those folks who are, many of them are just priced out. Like, they can't afford the rents.
Right. Exactly.
And so,
I do agree with that.
And so if we increase the inventory and the rents maintain or stay where they are right now, I think we end up with what we see more of now, more new apartment buildings that are empty.
Yes, and that's a real issue that I don't know how to answer, because when you see the housing price makes the single person's family's budget, takes away 50% now, or even more than 50% of monthly budget is taken by the housing cost. So that is it used to be 1/4 or so of the person's earning per month was taken up by the housing cost. But now it's more than half.
Mm-hmm.
So that right there brings the difficulty in maintaining a livelihood and the healthy lifestyle within the city of Los Angeles, because the economy suffers, because then there's not much money out to spend for such as food and other items of monthly expense that promotes healthy economy. So that is a systemic problem, I think, that need to be redressed in collaboration, perhaps, with the state government and federal government policies.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You know, the cost to getting to, so we build this new housing that you're proposing, right? You know, first and last, let's just use a baseline of $3,000, right, for rent for a 1-bedroom, right, 2-bedroom, right? That's not median, average, or anything, but let's just use that as a round number. First and last is $6,000, in addition to the expenses of moving and perhaps furnishing an apartment. Cash, not to mention the credit requirements that it would take to actually qualify to get into said place, or even bank statements that need to accompany all. You see where I'm going with this? It's a lot of money to get into an apartment or just housing, period, right? So have you given any thought to, you've built this housing, how are we going to help people, again, afford to being in it?
So there's there should be of course, the government program that keeps, and there's a Section 8, of course, in federal program, and there's other subsidies, that the low-income housing subsidies that are available to those low-income families.
I'm not talking about low-income families, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know the challenges of the low-income family, right? I'm talking about the working family, right? The working poor, not low-income. I'm talking. You just said the what it takes to income requirements. It used to be a quarter. Many people spending up to 50% of their income on housing. So how do we help those that are helping themselves?
Yes, and that brings in the issue as to the motivation and the probability of the investors and the home builders to say, look, I'm going to build a house here or the apartment here. Does it make economic sense for me to invest in this particular spot? And that brings in all the costs that are involved in getting the permit, and then the time it takes to be able to start the building and completing the building of the house to be able to be housed by the Angelinos. So that's where the number that comes in to calculate how we can motivate these investors and home builders to build more within the city of Los Angeles. So that brings in the question as to how long does it take to get permit, and how long does it take overall. So I mentioned 5 years or up to 5 years, but in other cities, in other states, it's less than a year. So there should be
in other cities, it's less than a year to build housing.
To have a housing built.
Where does that exist? Because I think I've yet to see it. I don't know everything, but where does that exist? Where you can build a multi-unit apartment, 5 stories high, in 1 year in California?
In California, that's another issue. In California, it's not realistic, but other states.
Well, Mr. Kim, the delegation, the audiences, they're listening to you. They're saying all they're hearing is talking points, right? Like they're not hearing any new ideas. It sounds like they want to root for you, right? I mean, but all they're hearing is more talking points. When we come forward, I'm in studio with Mr. Andrew Kim, Attorney Andrew Kim, who is running for Los Angeles, the mayor of Los Angeles. He has some ideas. We're still trying to pull them out, though. Increasing the housing inventory seems to be one of them. Don't know if I agree or even understand his move for helping with the unhoused community. It's fair to say policing would be increasing the police force would be a part of your administration. So I'll tell you what we're going to do, Mr. Kim. When we come forward, we're going to continue this conversation. I'm going to give you the question now, give you some time to think about it. We'll come back when we come forward. You're elected. Day one, you do what? Stay with us. James Farr, Andrew Kim, only on KBLA Talk 1580. We got your black.
More of First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
Stay informed with 24/7 power outage alerts from LADWP delivered straight to your phone or email when an outage occurs. Get notified when there's a major outage and again when your power is restored. Track up to 3 neighborhoods, like your home, your workplace, even a family member's. Stay connected. Stay informed. Sign up at ladwp.com/outage alert. That's ladwp.com/outage alert. Sign up today at ladwp.com/outage alert.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Tired of being locked out of job opportunities and shut down by systemic racism? KBLA Talk 1580 stands with you in fighting for the rights of black workers, and we don't black down. The Los Angeles Black Workers Center is a dynamic alliance of workers, organized labor, community-based organizations, clergy, students, and scholars working collectively to improve the position of the black working class. The LA Black Workers Center takes a comprehensive approach to addressing the black jobs crisis. Their programs promote access to quality jobs, racial equity in hiring and retention, discrimination-free job sites, and they prepare black workers for employment in high-wage career track jobs. The LA Black Workers Center supports workers who need help protecting their rights on the job. They give workers access to quality jobs and remove systemic barriers to employment. And they are advocating for a fair deal for black workers in the new Los Angeles City Charter. To sign up for free career readiness training, get involved in organizing, or learn about union apprenticeship programs and trade registries, please visit lablackworkercenter.org. That's lablackworkercenter.org. Together, we can beat the black jobs crisis and build a more equitable Los Angeles. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
My name is Cynthia Mitchell. I've been an emergency room nurse in Los Angeles County for 25 years. I've been there through every fire season, every outbreak, every earthquake. Every time Los Angeles needed us, the doctors and nurses of Los Angeles County showed up. And right now, I'm seeing another disaster coming. Trump's cuts to Los Angeles County's healthcare system are a public health crisis in the making. Medi-Cal, public hospitals, disaster preparedness are all at risk, but we can stop it. Measure ER fights back against these cuts. For a half a penny, we keep emergency rooms open, care within reach for working families, and doctors and nurses serving the communities we love. When you vote yes on Measure ER, you're not just voting for healthcare, you're voting for LA. Vote yes on Measure ER by June 2nd.
Ad paid for by Yes on ER, Restore Healthcare for Angelinos, sponsored by St. John's Community Health and Health Justice Action Fund. Ad committee top funder, St. John's Community Health.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. At the heart of the Al Wooten Center's mission for good citizenship and academic excellence is a desire to ensure that every student avoids the kind of lifestyle and overcomes the kinds of challenges that led to the murder of Al Wooten Jr. In 1990, founder Myrtle Fay Rumpf opened the center in honor of her son's life. In 2026, they are serving more than 300 students in grades 3 through 12 annually online and on site at their youth center and other sites in the South LA area. The Al Wooten Jr. Youth Center takes a neighborhood approach to the revitalization and empowerment of a community in crisis. The Wooten Center provides free after-school and summer programs to help students in grades 3 through 12 attain grade-level proficiency and promotion, high school graduation, and college and career access and success. The Al Wooten Center focuses on academics, STEM, the arts, and so much more. Join them for an enriching experience that sparks creativity and nurtures young minds. Tap in at wootencenter.org. That's wootencenter.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The conversation continues right now with Dominic DePrima on First Things First.
That's right. The conversation does continue right now. I'm James Farr. I'm sitting in for Dominic DePrima this week. We are bringing you candidates from across spectrum of races right now. I'm in studio with Andrew Kim, who is a candidate, attorney Andrew Kim, who is a candidate for Los Angeles mayor. As we've told you, the ballots will be out next week, May 4th. You'll have an opportunity to start looking at the candidates. I encourage you to visit all of their websites. I think the judicial candidates are something that you should pay extra special attention to because they don't get the most attention. But right now, Mr. Kim and I have been in dialogue, and we're finding some heading. I think I'm understanding what his platform is and the things that matter to him should he advance through the June election onto the election in November. Mr. Kim, you're elected day one. What's your priorities? What are you doing?
Okay, so this is the step that everyone talks about, which is the declaring state of emergency to address the homelessness, and that is something that I think is warranted still. 4 years ago, Ms. Bass stated that she will declare state of emergency, and then right now the situation has not improved.
What would a state of an emergency entail? What does that mean?
Well, that would entail gives the city mayor more power, and to be able to override perhaps the city council and to expedite the execution of all the programs that the mayor institutes to address the issue of homelessness. So it gives more power to the office of mayor, and then I will appoint the homelessness czar. I think that it's good to give an individual a chance to really to redress this issue, that endemic issue of homelessness, and be accountable for the outcome of success or failure of the endeavor to end the homelessness. So I would appoint homelessness czar, and then I would also appoint the efficiency, government efficiency, city government efficiency czar, such as the one that Mr. Trump utilized with the Elon Musk Department of Government of Efficiency. I think that will bring in a new extra set of eyes to assess and to evaluate how the city government is being run and what are the areas that we need to improve. I know that we have we need a lot. I believe we need a lot of improvement in the AI and computer system, the utilizing the technology to be able to make our city government run more efficiently. So that's the area that I'll be focusing on. So there will be homelessness czar, and then also the government efficiency czar, and then I would I believe there are quite a bit of ways of reducing the size of our city government, so that we can reduce the burden of the city budget has towards our Angelenos and the taxpayers. There is always an endemic structural deficit that is built in within our city budget, which I think we need to have a serious look at how our city budget is being organized and spent. So there are a lot of overlapping tasks within the city government, I believe, such as we have 2 different housing-related departments within the city. And then there's and also the one thing that I want to mention is that I want to, I really have a real problem with the Miss Bass's her pet
try to
project.
stay right in that microphone. We're landing this thing. We're coming down to the last minute or so.
That will be the DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion aspect of our city government. I think the civil and human rights and equity department need to be, as they say, defunded, and I would get rid of that, because I think overall the purpose of our city government should be based on merit-based appointment of government officials. And
we got to land it there, Mr. Kim. The time goes by so fast. Real quick, how can people, if they want to learn more about your campaign, where do they go?
They should go kim4la.com.
kim4la.com. Kim4la, number 4?
No, just FOR, I'm sorry.
Kim, F-O-R-L-A. Okay, all right. Well, that's the voice of attorney Andrew Kim, who is a candidate for Los Angeles mayor. Elections are coming up. Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Kim, for taking time and sharing with us. We wish you the best of luck in your campaign, and perhaps we'll see you after June 2nd here, and we'll talk about how you actually make those things happen. Okay?
Thank you, James, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely. Hey, folks, 3 hours just like that. We're winding down. James Farr, I'm in all week for Dominique DePrima. You can follow us across all of the socials at KBLA 1580. And if you're interested in checking in on your boy, you can find me at James Farr Live across all of the socials. Tavis Smiley Show is up next, and I think we got a guest host, Dr. Nicodelai Cortier. But I looked at that lineup, and it is amazing. I'll be back here tomorrow morning. Until we have another opportunity to speak with you, Agape.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Los Angeles police are stepping up patrols and adding mobile surveillance in Studio City after a spike in home invasions. Aaron Sias with ACS Security.
We have provided information, footage, license plates to LAPD that have actively assisted in their investigations.
A new AI-powered camera unit is now operating near Ventura Boulevard as the city boosts security. An audit at HBCU North Carolina A&T found $5 million in financial aid was wrongly awarded to ineligible recipients with ties to former officials. Several leaders have left the university, restitution is being sought, and criminal referrals have been made.